8 of the Tim and Chuck Show, presented by Batt & Stevens Body Shop. I'm Tim McDonough, joined by my esteemed colleague, Chuck Martinez-Brandon. Chuck, we're here at Frickers. Nice spread again.
Yes.
And you know what? Week 8. Man. It's rolling along.
It really does. You know, we laughed a few weeks ago. We were talking about, oh, it's week 2, and we're talking about playoffs or whatever. But now people are talking playoffs, and people are. Joe Itel, I mean, his server's got to be burning up because people are on that thing all the time trying to figure out how many points they have, who's playing who, and it's just a great time of the year.
Oh, it's fun. Definitely fun. Now, before we get into our game of the week, Chuck, you know, Ethan was out there last week getting some great shots from the Wassiana Liberty Center game. We've got the Wassiana student section. A big thank you to them, by the way, for that introduction.
Great.
I mean, they were wearing pink breast cancer awareness.
Man. It's great support, guys.
And we got a great shot of them getting fired up during the game.
Yes.
You got to watch the Superman guy. He does his thing.
He's taking flight.
Yeah. We got a shot of a young man doing his thing when the band starts playing.
Yep, getting his groove on.
Yeah. One of my favorite shots, I think maybe of the season, we've got a young Liberty Center fan running down the sideline with a flag, and a gentleman wearing some sort of suit. I don't know.
Some sort of puffy blow-up suit thing.
Bubble Boy, maybe? I don't know, but that's a great
awesome.
shot. That's a great shot. And then
where do kids find this stuff?
I don't know. Well, it is getting close to Halloween, right?
Well, that's true.
That's right. And then we've got a shot of a female student from Liberty Center doing the push-ups after they score. Yep. And I like what the crowd is cheering behind them.
We want more. She's CrossFit class there, huh? During Liberty Center games.
A big thank you to Ethan for getting all the shots. He does a great job. Yeah. And we tell him every week, you do something, he'll get you.
Oh, you
got
will.
him.
Yeah, that's right. You can't hide.
No.
You can't hide.
No. Now, Chuck, it's time for our game of the week. Last week we had the big NWAL showdown with Wassiana Liberty Center. This week it's Swanton, undefeated, number 6 in the state in Division 4 at Wassiana with just that one loss. Do or die time maybe for Wassiana. They don't get this win. Swanton's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and I mean, Swanton, whoever would have thought in recent memory that you'd be talking about Swanton at this point in time of the season. I think I saw a stat last time they won 7 games was like in the mid-90s.
Wow.
You know, so Swanton's really rolling. They've got an offense that great offensive linemen, and from varsity, JV, their line is good all the way through. So those guys, you know, are working each other hard in practice, and they're getting better. And their running backs, man, just downhill runners. They hit the hole hard, and it makes that offense hard to stop.
Well, Bryce McComb, speaking of which, the running backs, he had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. The thing that impressed, I think, a lot of people in that win against Patrick Henry was they had 3 defensive touchdowns, including 2 pick sixes from Gunnar Oaks. I mean, they're getting it done on both sides of the football.
Yeah, exactly. When you're getting turnovers from a defense, it's great. When your defense is scoring points, you're going to be hard to stop.
Well, offensively, you got J.J. Kaufman, Wassiana's quarterback. He threw for 1 and ran for 1 last week. Their defense held Liberty Center to 7 points. They got it done on both sides too.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Wassiana's been one of those teams. They hit a little dip a couple weeks ago, but you know, it looks like they're back up playing at that high level that they were, you know, about a month ago. So if they're firing it on all cylinders again, man, that is going to be a slobber knocker NWAL game. Man, that'll be a great one to watch.
And again, doesn't that make this time of year just that much more fun? I mean, holy cow, these are the games that you want to see.
Oh, exactly. This is what you want at this point in time of the season. You don't want, you know, go into it, you're like 1-6 or whatever. But and it's league rivalries. It's a team that in Swan that hasn't had a lot of success recently, you know, but now they're real fired up, and those fans got to be even more excited, and they're going to bring a great following. It just adds to everything with this game.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Mike Vickers, the coach of Swanton. Man. Wherever he's gone, he's brought winning to whatever program that's been, and he's been to a lot of different places. Yeah,
you know, and he's just got, for whatever reason, he's got that formula, and now it's at the point where he goes somewhere. Kids buy in. They're all in as soon as they hear his name. And they're like, we'll do whatever you want us to do because we know you're successful. And you know what? When kids buy into a program and they're playing and doing things for the team and not the I, man, that is a hard snowball to stop from matriculating downhill. I tell you that much.
Well, that's our game of the week. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to show you some highlights and have some fun. See you in a little bit.
With an online subscription to the Crescent-News, you can read every article, see every photo, download and read each printed page, watch Crescent-News videos, and see great deals offered by our advertisers. For just $7 a month, you'll know the news in Northwest Ohio as it happens.
And we're back, And Chuck, it's almost, and I'll say it again, almost time for the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. Before we get to the collision, let's show some hits that didn't make the collision of the week, but some good hits nonetheless.
Still some humdingers, though.
Yes, and roll that beautiful footage.
Violence, that's all I'm thinking. I mean, there was violence all over the field. Special teams violence, offensive violence, defensive violence. And I mean, that's how the game of football is played. And if you're playing violently, chances are you're going to have a pretty good squad. And those are two good teams that got after last week.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be physical anyway. Yep. So, I mean, and that just proved it. So now, Chuck, it is time for the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. What do they say about that, Chuck?
You know, every week you can have all these hits and all these little minor collisions, but there's only one Rose Insurance Collision of the Week, and it's coming from that game, that Liberty-Wauseon game. You've got Liberty Center running back, Zach Carpenter. He takes the pitch, he's going out left, and he cuts back across the grain. And when you cut back across the grain, you got people pursuing you with some violence in their minds, and there's Tyler Wilson laying the smack down on the cutback.
That is our Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. And now it's time for our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week from that same game. We've got Liberty Center quarterback Brooks Hinton throws a little pitch to Northwest. Yes, that's his name, Northwest.
Not the direction he was going.
No. He looks to throw it back to Hinton, but not so fast, my friends. Jacob Flory of Wauseon is there, makes the interception, takes it deep into Liberty Center territory. J.J. Kaufman scores one play later, puts Wauseon up by 2 scores. They go on to win that game, and that's some grade A stuff.
That's right. That is the play. I'm telling you.
That is our Jacobs.
Make a play.
That is our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week. Now, Chuck, before we get to the end of the show here, we'd like to spotlight a volleyball match this week that is going to be drawing a lot of attention.
Oh, man.
Unbeaten in state-ranked Ayersville, going to Tenora. A couple of losses, unbeaten in the GMC. Big league match.
Man, absolutely huge. How big is it that all of the teenage guys that are on the Ayersville football team, we always have our team meal on Thursday. So we said, team meal? Or should we go, watch the volleyball, support the girls? They said volleyball, so that tells you how big it is when teenage guys are turning down food.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, everyone kind of had an idea that Ayersville would be good. I mean, they're 20-0 right now, and they're state ranked, like we said. Molly Hammersmith leads that group, but they have a lot of seniors.
Oh yeah, that senior group for them, and they've played together all the way up through. They got a lot of experience when they were freshmen, sophomores. So that is a really veteran group of girls.
Now on the other side, you've got a Tenora team led by first-year coach Bretta Haggerty. We know a little bit about Bretta. Yeah. She did great at Defiance. She turned around the Patrick Henry program before coming to Tenora. I think they only had something like one senior returning. For them to be 18-2 and fighting for the GMC title says a lot about what she's done and what this group has done collectively.
You're exactly right, and it's like what we talked about with Coach Vickers earlier. Coach Haggerty's that same type of person. She sort of has that magic touch, and when she walks into a program, people are all in because they know that she knows what she's talking about and that she knows volleyball.
Yeah, well, that's going to be packed on Thursday. Expect some fun there, and we just wanted to make sure that we talked about that this week because it's something to talk about.
It'll be big.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, hey, high school sports, man, you gotta love it. But like we said, this time of the year doesn't matter the sport, man. It's getting nitty gritty time.
Yeah. Well, Chuck, before we get out of here, we have to thank our sponsors.
Yep.
Batt and Stevens Body Shop for all they do, Frickers for hosting the show, and of course, Rose Insurance and Jacobs Meats. They are great every week.
That's right. Turning out that protein.
Yeah. Now, as always, we always want you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Send any questions to our email account that's going on below us. And we always want to put in a plug for our sports department. They do a great job covering high school sports, especially football. Check out our website, crescent-news.com on Fridays, Saturday, and check out the paper Sunday.
Yeah.
They do a great
There's
job.
some social media, you know. Again, you can find out the scores right now. You know, 10 o'clock, 10:30. You're leaving your game, you can find out right now. Hey, who's winning, who you needed to win, if they won, if they lost, at the tips of your fingers.
So now, Chuck, that is it for week 8 of the Tim and Chuck Show. Any words of wisdom before we get out of here?
Well, I think a lot of people agree with me out there, you know, Tim. High school sports have been very, very good to me.
See you next week.